Hi everyone, welcome to So Fantastic with Tiwa Avanti. Today I'll be showing you how to draft an off-shoulder bustier top with exaggerated sleeves. I'm going to start by drafting a basic bodice first and also a basic sleeve. Then I'll adapt that to an off-shoulder, okay? So let me sharply do that. So now that I have my bodice, the first thing to do is the shoulder tightening. And for that I'll be doing 100% shoulder tightening because it's an off shoulder, so I don't want to tighten it too much. So my dart is 7 inches 7 cm. I'm going to be doing 100% shoulder tightening. So this tightening makes the neckline of the bustier firmer around your chest. I'm sure that you've seen people putting on garments before and they have to keep pulling it up, around their chest, around the neck area. Usually it's because the tightening wasn't done right or no tightening was done at all. So after doing the shoulder tightening, go ahead to tighten the underbust too. Tighten the underbust. Mark your shoulder to underbust measurement on the middle dart leg and roll across. To determine what to take out, measure what you have on the underbust line and note that, okay? Then divide your actual round underbust by 4 and subtract that from the measurement that you noted earlier. So what you get is what you then measure out on your dart legs, and also ensure to take more on this side. That's the side closest to the armhole. Next, connect the underbust tightening to the waist dart like this. With the curved side of your ruler, draw the underbust as shown. Okay, so the next thing to do now is to mark your desired neck depth. I'm marking 7 inches for this off shoulder. Also rule across, and this is going to, for me, I'm going to make this a sweetheart neckline. So go down by 1 or 1.5 here and bring the neckline down. Alright, so for the back, measure from the shoulder point to the neckline on the front pattern, and so transfer this same measurement to the back. Then lower the back neckline as desired. For me, I'm just going to go down 2 inches from the bust line. Also tighten the back neckline a little. Just measure 0.25 on both sides of the dart leg and connect back to the waist. So the back pattern is pretty straightforward. This is just it, we're done. So grab your basic sleeve pattern, lower the sleeve cap according to what you have left along the armhole of the front and the back pattern. Connect and cut out. So the off shoulder sleeve is also very straightforward. So that's it. Now you can go for whatever length you want, but for this tutorial I'm just sticking with what is in that picture on the top. For the exaggerated sleeve now, you can either attach to the armhole, okay, or attach it to the bustier itself, the way it was done here in the picture. So the process is pretty much the same. Okay, the process, if you're attaching to the armhole or you want to attach on the bustier or the bustier, is the same thing. You cut it the same way. You just make one or two changes here and there. Okay, so but for this style that we're recreating, notice that the sleeve does not end at the back armhole, okay, and rather it extends to the zipped area, and also it wasn't attached to the armhole, it was attached on the bodice, on the bustier itself. So I'm sticking to the style in the thumbnail. Okay, so I want the sleeve to be like 5 inches long on the side that will be sewn on the body, on the bodies, and so I will mark. Okay, so I'm going to mark 2 inches down the neckline, and also about 2 on the side front. Next, extend your shoulder point out. Okay, so on that extended line, I'm going to mark. You can mark between 6 to 8 inches, but I want to mark 8 inches so that it can extend out away from the body well. So now connect from here, the 2 inch that you took down from the neckline, connect to the 8 inch up, connect to the 8 inch mark, and then from the 8 inch point marked, mark the sleeve length. For me, I'm going to make that about 10 inches, and then from the 5 inch point that you marked down, also connect to the lower part of your sleeve. Alright, so for the back pattern, also extend the shoulder point, mark 8 inches out. Alright, mark the sleeve length down too, that also should be 10 inches. And now this for the back, you're connecting all the way to the center back. Okay, so now before you cut your pattern, trace out the sleeve of both the front and the back on a fresh paper, and so you can now go ahead to cut your pattern, to cut the bustier part out. sleeve. Remember that the front part is pleated, so you can multiply the original width that you have in mind by 2 or 3. Okay, so I'm going to extend my paper to 10 inches, okay? And I know that I'll be pleating this back to 5 inches so that it looks exactly like what we have in the picture. Next, tape the front and the back sleeve together so that you have one piece. This is so that you don't have any joining at the side of the sleeves, okay? It just looks neater and it looks better that way. So after taping together, you can trace on another paper or use this to cut your actual fabric. So when you pleat or you gather it back, it's going to look like what is in the picture. When cutting on fabric, you'll be cutting 2 pieces so that you have a lining piece. Whatever you want to use to line it is fine, with which you will turn your sleeve to give it a neat finish on top and at the bottom. So you can also use stay to stiffen the fabric so that it stands well depending on the type of fabric that you're using. After sewing up the bustier, just attach the sleeve straight to the bustier in front, and at the back. And if you want to sew into the armhole, you can also just do that. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks again. See you in the next video and stay awesome.